sides line up, shall we? The coaches have named these players. Wellens at full-back for St Helens, Stewart, Gleeson, Newlove and Gardner, the three-quarters. Sculthorpe is alongside Long. In the forwards, Britt, Cunningham and Mason. He's on his debut, Keith Mason. Joined the captain and Bennett in the second row. Darren Smith is the loose forward. And the substitutes, Hooper, who is fit again, Ward, Hyam, Jones, formerly with Wigan, and Ian Millward is the coach. Now the Warriors of Wigan, Briscoe at full-back, Johnson, Aspinwall, Brown on his full debut and Hodgson, O'Loughlin and Lamb. The forwards, O'Connor, Newton and Craig Smith, first choice front row. Cassidy and Nick Graham has moved to the second row to accommodate Andrew Farrell, who will play at loose forward, the skipper. And the bench occupied by Danny Sculthorpe, Paul's younger brother, Mark Smith, Robinson and Hock, and the coach is Stuart Raper. Andrew Farrell leading his men out. They were beaten last Friday, 30 points to 20 by Leeds. They will aim to rediscover the spirit that got them the win against Saints on Good Friday. And it's remarkable to point out that either Wigan or St Helens have featured in all 5 grand finals so far. They met for the title in 2000. Wigan won in 1998 in the inaugural grand final, so I suppose you can say they won the inaugural trophy for a grand final. They lost in 2000, but Wigan come into this match this evening hoping to record the league double over their nearest and dearest rivals. St Helens are 6th, Wigan are 5th. 6 wins and a draw and 5 defeats, but St Helens have at the moment got those 2 points docked. And it's interesting to note, as Ian Millward and John Sharp take their place on the front row of the main stand, that home advantage has been the key factor in the last 8 meetings between these two. Well, here are the inaugural Super League trophy winners from 1996, when they were under the control of Sean McRae. They have been spluttering like never before under Ian Millward. But as Chris Joyce said as he tossed the coin with Andrew Farrell, this is the perfect night for them to rediscover their form. They failed to win in their last 2 at Hull and Warrington. In fact, it's now just 3 wins from their last 10 in League and Cup. But Ian Millward says all they are after is consistency. Well, they've got red and white banners over there. I'm not quite sure what it said. I suppose it might be Saints or Champs. Ian Millward's option under Stuart Raper hasn't been too well over the past couple of days. He hasn't been at training, I know that. And he even journeyed across here in his own car because he didn't want any virus that he might have to spread through the team. Match referee looking suntanned is Russell Smith. Big match referee, big match atmosphere. It's St Helens against Wigan. It's still the ultimate Super League derby in this part of the world. And Paul Sculthorpe gets us underway. Short kick-off. Saints hunting it. Saints claiming it with Wellens.
Oh, that was a high shot. First attempt, but what a great kick-off. He's got to call him out. It was high. We expected it tough. But we didn't expect it from this fella so early in the game. Wonderful tactics by Ian Millward.
And they're so close, St Helens, from that penalty. It's with Darren Britt.
Oh, good defence, it had to be there. The 2 prop forwards and the hooker.
Good forcing back. Good forcing back by the Wigan defence. They pushed him back 8 metres there, Darren Britt. This is Cunningham. Now Long. Here is Sculthorpe. He's found Wellens. Wellens to Gleeson. Gleeson goes inside. Kevin Brown. Gleeson. What a start for the Saints. What a start for St Helens. It all came about as a result of that short kick-off. They got the penalty, and Gleeson went through Kevin Brown like he wasn't there. St Helens off to a flyer.
Great tactics by Ian Millward. Short kick-off, as Eddie has mentioned. We expected it to be tough and tight. Lamb came up with a mistake. This is a kick-off. Superb. We mean business, and there's no better way to do that. Wellens, who's been out of form, There's the high shot from Adrian Lamb, and from the resulting tap, off they went. Hanging back, you can see on the defence there, and I'm afraid the youngster Kevin Brown was left flat-footed, and Gleeson. What a start for the Saints. The crowd here, they've just erupted. Step in and out. Kevin Brown, Adrian Lamb was just forced away and fended with ease. What a wonderful opening to this magnificent game of rugby league.
Martin Gleeson hasn't scored for two. He has put that to rights, the Great Britain international. And now another Great Britain international, Paul Sculthorpe, to try and add the extras off the touchline. It's on its way. Wonderful kick from Sculthorpe. St Helens have the perfect start. Gleeson's stride. And look what it means on the terraces to the St Helens fans.
There you see, second row, Chris Joynt taking out Adrian Lamb. He was having a good old nut, it was Lamb. To the referee, Russell Smith. Not deemed an obstruction, but what a try. Get him low.
St Helens out of the traps quickly. Stewart is tackled. Wigan haven't had the ball yet. Good drive forward here by Keith Mason. Made 23 appearances with Wakefield in 2000 and 2001, and St Helens moved quickly to bring him back from Melbourne. Cunningham from dummy half, trying to step over the top of Lamb.
Well, you mentioned Keith Mason, Eddie. The one thing that Saints have lacked over the past 4 to 5 games is a little bit of toughness in the forwards, and he'll certainly provide that. That is a great kick and chase.
Enthusiastic chase to Long's kick, led by Darren Smith. Well, St Helens really do look pumped up for this one.
Big problem for Wigan. Not to get in the possession, get them a field position that they can do anything with it. Even when they set out the 6, the kick is going to be a long way back in their own quarter.
Andrew Farrell is grounded by Kieran Cunningham. This is the last tackle, so Lamb will have to kick, and he does. But Aidy Gardner has positioned himself well for this and collects it 20 metres from his line. Wigan chase is good, but he was missed by Newton. He wasn't missed by Cassidy. And Nick Graham was there as well. Here now is Wellens for St Helens. The champions off to a flying start. Long.
Good to see St Helens running directly from the dummy half position, rather than just depend on the first receiver. They're mixing it.
Darren Britt now drives the ball forward again. Just consistency, said Ian Millward. That's all his team are lacking. They have all the talent in the world, and they're showing it so far tonight. This is Joynt on the last. Got a bit of a high shot there by Craig Smith. It's with Sculthorpe, who'll pump the kick out wide. Well claimed over on that far side. Great take it was. Paul Johnson.
Super sub. Mentioned before the kickoff, Eddie, that's the reason why Stuart Raper put Paul Johnson on the wing, left the youngster Kevin Brown in the centres, because he knew that Saints were going to pinpoint that wing right into the corner.
Cassidy now. Good drive forward, enthusiastic, but equally good tackling by Newlove Cunningham and company. This is Farrell, and St Helens are alert to the danger of Andrew Farrell. Last tackle here for Wigan. It's with Lamb again to do the kicking. This time he goes, I was going to say straight down the middle, but it bounces ever so kindly for Aidy Gardner.
Well, that's a better kick than the first one, but that's all brought about by the fact that he's still way down on the 30-metre mark, all because of the wonderful kick and chase situation that Saints have.
This is Keith Mason again. 3 appearances as a substitute for Melbourne Storm this year. Plays the ball on halfway to Cunningham. He bounces off O'Connor. Still going is Cunningham. 40 metres away from the Wigan line. He's grounded. Darren Smith. Sean Long. Sculthorpe on his right-hand side. Goes on the inside instead to Britt.
Just a little bit too flat was a prop forward there. Good move back on the inside. Long running on the angle.
Last tackle here for Saints. Long dabs the kick into the corner. Just too long. Hodgson was there to shepherd the ball over the line with Briscoe. But Long looks inventive with his kicking already.
Well, they all look eager. And that is the one thing that Ian Millwood has been complaining about his charges, is the fact that, and he's also would have mentioned, remember they had the game sewn up as far as they were concerned at the JJB Stadium. They had a commanding lead and then just didn't turn up in the second half.
It's ferocious defence from St Helens. Cunningham and Smith leading the way. Newton to Craig Smith. Big hit from Darren Britt. Mason is in there as well, and Darren Smith. Just inside their own half. Newton to Graham. It goes wide. This is Aspinwall.
Pretty good sliding defence by Saints. Moving right across.
Here's Graham again, and he'll pump the kick this way, looking for David Hodgson. Well claimed by Gardner. Gleeson did a good job on Hodgson as well as he tried to close in and take the kick.
Did he ever? It was a beautiful shield.
Lovely dummy. Great tackle by Briscoe.
Had to be as well.
Gleeson, joint, Long. Closed down by the defence, gives it instead to Cunningham. Cunningham grounded on halfway by his opposite number, Terry Newton.
A little bit hesitant is the Wigan defence. Got to sort that out. So that Stuart Raper will get the message down. But they're making easy ground. They're getting over the advantage line with ease.
Come on.
Darren Smith, the dummy half this time. Here is Long. Long shows it wide. This is Newlove. Good tackle low down by Martin Aspinwall. Stewart, the dummy half. Long again with the kicking. Crossfield kick from him this time. Palmed back. Farrell's after it. So is Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe picks it up. Gives it brilliantly to Darren Smith. Here is Chris Joint. Is it going to be a special from Saints? Joint gets it away to Gardner. Well done, is inside. What a try. What a try from St Helens. What a fantastic try from Wellens. That was all on the last. First of the season for Paul Wellens. His last two tries came here in September against Hull. But what a great try this was.
Well, I anticipated a tough opening to this game. It has been. But the ability to keep the ball alive, Gleeson got to it there. They didn't want to know it, the Wigan defence. Beautiful slip back on the inside. Watch for Joint, has come on the inside. That meant that they both went for the same player, back on the inside. They don't come much better than this. They've been asleep for a few weeks, but not today. Gleeson said it's mine, they didn't want to know it. But the whole thing was back on the inside. Now watch Joint. Come inside, come inside. They do. 2-on-1, offload. Come out of your line, you pay the price, and that price is 4, and could be 6.
Terrific try from St Helens, that. They failed to win their last two, but they have got off to a flyer here. And Sculthorpe has already kicked one. And looks like there's a problem for Andrew Farrell. And there's certainly a problem for that Wigan side. And Sculthorpe here now to try and add the extras. Sculthorpe adds 2 more. And St Helens lead by 12 points to 0 inside the first 10 minutes at Knowsley Road.
See how Hodgson is sucked in by the fact that Joint has used the arm, said come on the inside, makes the half break. Oh, beautiful stuff. Gardner's pass to the fullback was superb. They're rocking him here at Knowsley Road at the moment. Wigan just can't get into the Saints' half.
Fantastic start from the Saints, Phil.
Yeah, it seems as though the Saints have divine inspiration when they play like this. It's simply a case that they've got the go forward. When you think back to the opening game of Super League this year, they were in this sort of form against the Bradford Bulls. When they get onto a roll, it's very, very difficult for teams to actually stop that roll. They run from dummy half, and when you look at the Wigan defenders here now, always backpedaling, what it actually means, Eddie, is that you can't really get a quality tackle onto the Saints player. The next one comes on, quick play of the ball, and the system rolls on and on and on, as this ball does here now for Paul Johnson. And this doesn't look like a lot of fun, does it, turning around with 4 white jerseys in front of you?
Indeed not. And look at the St Helens chase, the defence and the enthusiasm running through the side. Respite for Wigan here. Keith Mason pinged by the referee. He was offside, says Russell Smith. Well, Wigan can take heart from the fact that they were in a commanding position against Saints at the JJB Stadium.
To be fair, it's going to take this guy a little while to settle into the patterns of St Helens.
Let me turn that round, Steve. Saints were in a commanding position at the JJB Stadium against Wigan, and we know what happened then.
Yep.
So there's still plenty of time. And talent like this from Adrian Lamb.
Only Cassidy was there, all over him, pushing him the second goal. Newlover's been caught.
He's been
surely they'll take the 2.
Penalised for a flop.
They'll take the 2, mainly due to the fact Wigan have had very little possession.
I don't think so. They're going to go for a quick tap.
They're going for a quick one.
And this is O'Connor.
Well, that stunned me. They haven't had much possession. That would have settled things down.
Here is Lamb. Back on the inside it goes. Oh, that was a thunderous challenge from Birmingham. Briscoe felt that. Here is Newton.
Smith must... Well, Darren Smith was a mile offside there. Didn't get back the 10. Could have been penalised.
The referee shouted twice to play on. This is O'Connor. Plays the ball to Newton. Here is Lamb. Farrell was hanging back deep. Tries to barge his way through 3 defenders, but can't. Newton waits. They come down the short side with a Lachlan. A dab kick looking for the runners. I'm afraid that was too deep.
Well, sometimes you've got a chance, Gerard. On this occasion, the kick from the standoff, a little bit too strong.
Pace of this match is unrelenting, so quick.
But that's the reason, Wadey, why I would have settled things down. Andy Farrell really should have said, hey, let's regroup, let's take the 2 points on offer, and then slowly but surely they would have got the ball back from the kickoff. Now they're under pressure.
They are with Newland. Farrell taking the decision, as Shane McNally said on Boots and All on Wednesday. Coaches do so much, but it's the players in the heat of the battle out there who have to take the major decisions, and that was a decision that Farrell took. Here is Long. Long to Britt. Big hole for Britt. Now it's with Cunningham. Briscoe standing strong. Ball is flicked forward by Sculthorpe. It's going to be a penalty.
He was taken out.
Bowling, tackling, Sinby.
Sinby.
It wasn't going to be a penalty try.
Penalty try.
That's right, no,
it could have been. I think he's given a penalty try.
No, he hasn't.
No. He tackled the player without the ball. Why did he tackle him?
Well, he obviously felt that the ball was travelling too quick. Just giving Andy Farrell the reason why it wasn't given there. Great break. But once again, St Helens, especially Sean Long, they're utilising coming out first man and then bringing the ball back on the inside. The Wigan first and second markers just not responding. That's the reason why I give this guy the chance. No doubt he was taken out, and this is the reason why it wasn't a penalty try. If that ball had a bobble in the in-goal area and stayed there, it would have been a try to Saints. And there he is, 10 minutes in the sin bin, as if his side is not in enough trouble. He took the risk, thought he could get away with it.
But he can't, and there's Stuart Raper and Mike Gregory. There's a bit of a problem there for them, obviously. I think he took the gamble then on taking Sculthorpe out. Had he, and he couldn't hang around and have a debate about it. It was an instinctive reaction from Sean O'Loughlin, but had he let him go, Sculthorpe might not have been quick enough to get the kick ahead. As it is, it's a gift 2 points, because he's bang in front. Ball's off the kicking tee. Referees held the clock up. 2 tries, 3 goals against Warrington for Paul Sculthorpe last week. His former club, of course. And he's now got over 900 points in his glittering career. Well, they are delighted with the start that their team has made. At the other end, where all the Wigan crowd is massed, it's just a little bit quieter, I'm afraid.
You've got to give credit to him, Millward. He's obviously been watching the videotapes of Wigan. Their first and second markers. That's the second occasion already in this game that they've split them.
Sculthorpe plonks the ball over the top of the bar. And the Saints have a 14-0 lead. distraction for the Wigan fans. They spotted themselves on the big screen. But he has spotted something, as you say, in training in the tapes this week.
Well, he's done it so often, hasn't he? Dragged himself back from adversity. There have been so many times over his position here at St Helens where it looked as though they were heading for a defeat, and yet they've just grasped it and pulled out a win from absolutely nowhere.
This is the way it looks head-to-head. Wigan still have the overwhelming advantage, despite the fact that St Helens have won 4 Super League titles to Wigan's 1. But they are second best in summer meetings still. Sculthorpe clips the ball over the top. That's a great kick, and Darren Smith chasing this with Paul Johnson. Oh, Johnson's made a meal of it. Good job, Briscoe's there.
Wow, this kick and chase from St Helens is quite superb. And that's the reason you apply the pressure. Nerves jingling through. Was an awful mess, wasn't it? Hodgson was lucky that they came up and cleaned up behind him.
Well, Johnson appearing on the wing for the first time since last year's Challenge Cup final when Wigan beat the Saints. Paul Sculthorpe, by the way, he has just gone through the 800-point barrier now for St Helens.
Got to be honest with you, Eddie.
It's all Saints.
I think Stuart Raper has to start doing something, and I think that something is to make sure that everything's steady and bring Johnson and Hodgson into the centres from the wing. Let's do an interchange, because they're being caught out wide as well.
This is Anthony Stewart now, his 100th Super League appearance tonight. Dummy half behind him was Mike Bennett. That's better defence from Aspinwall and Cassidy over there. Ward comes on. Keith Mason, who only arrived in this country from Melbourne earlier this week, is substituted. Sean Long looking inventive. Another clever little kick, and he hacks it forward. Paul Sculthorpe's after this. Hodgson just side-footed it over at the last minute.
I think he did as well.
He did.
With the dropout. He won't go through the screen. He's confident he's Russell Smith. Wonderful stuff here. Newton just had a nudge. Good refereeing to allow the play on. Watch it, watch it. I could get there, but he just whips it over. Spot on from Russell Smith. I knew he'd have a big game, Russell Smith. Daniel Powell, our guest, said that he was one of the best, and he was going to prove him right.
Well, he's obviously back from sunny climes, is Russell Smith. Batteries recharged. And that bounced off Darren Smith and is gobbled up gratefully by the Wigan side in the shape of Nick Graham.
A little bit of luck there, going their way. Maybe they needed it. And this guy has a habit, he's playing so well, isn't he?
Danny Sculthorpe, great offload to Terry Newton. Comes wide to Adrian Lamb. Long ball to Hodgson. Hodgson just had to apply the brakes. Now he'll straighten it.
Wonderful speed off the mark there. Good job that Joint got to him in time.
Farrell just trying to delay the pass.
Well,
Chris wouldn't be fooled.
There was no second runner. No point doing the little dummy. And was it knocked on? Yes, Newton's not happy. Lamb says there was a hand there.
Touch judge. The touch judge has given the signal, I think.
Off Adrian Lamb. Off him.
This is the pass. That's the first knock on.
That's the way I gave it. That's the way I saw it.
Well, Sculthorpe got a fingertip to it. That really should have been head and feet to Wigan. Watch Sculthorpe.
Yeah, but it's the new route, Steve-O. He's not playing at the ball, he's playing at the man. His head was on the wrong side.
So what we have to look for now in rugby league is a forward that's got arms 8 foot long. Then no one can score.
No, that's the rule. That is the rule, and the referee's right.
I think Sculthorpe went for the ball and not go for the man. It's an interpretation, but if you're going to bring your arm out there, a foot, and say you're taking it involved in a tackle, stupid.
Well, that's your interpretation. Russell Smith saw it another way, as did his touch judge. That's why St Helens have the ball, and that's why Britt trying to make ground over halfway.
So you're ganging up on me, all of you.
This now is Kieran Cunningham. Great ball to Long, it just bounced off him. All comes to naught.
Well, at least he got the defensive line there. It was really good stuff by the captain, Andrew Farrell.
Quicker, a bit quicker getting off on the last tackle there.
But he's back to business, isn't he? This fella, Sean Long.
Darren, get your head in, please.
Ian Millward was so disappointed that they squandered away that lead when they last played at the JJB Stadium. He said that you have to make sure you've got the composure right. He'll be happy so far.
Well, it's settled down a bit for Wigan, hasn't it, Phil?
Yeah, Eddie, my memory goes back just over 12 months to this corresponding fixture last year, which I thought was possibly the best game we had all season. I think we're going to get the same here tonight. We're going to have just had to withstand tremendous pressure, though, in the opening quarter. Now they've done that, it looks like it could be their turn to attack with Adrian Lamb.
Oh, what a little shimmy from Adrian Lamb. Oh, attack forward. That's got to be the long...
That could be a knock-on to start with. But Wigan are complaining.
Well, I think they've got a case.
So do I. He was taken out off the ball.
It was exactly the same as what happened at the other end.
Well, it appeared that way. Crowd don't like it. Lamb's beautiful step made the break. Not the best pass. But I'm sure he was taken out.
I'm not so sure that Briscoe got a hand to this anyway.
He didn't. He missed it.
There, that's a penalty. Exactly the same as the other end.
Exactly the same. How on earth is this man saying, can they not get the penalty? Well, you're right, Eddie. It's exactly the same as what happened on field.
Now they've got a penalty, Saints, for stealing the ball in the tackle. It's all going St Helens' way at the moment.
Going from bad to worse. Definitely pulled out there by Cassidy. And right in front of the official. Many fans feel that the merry whistleblowers don't have very good eyesight, did on that occasion. They are on the rack, big time at Wigan.
This is Bennett, England Day international, 10 metres away from the Wigan line. Cunningham looking for the runner, it's Jones, formerly with Wigan, out to make a mark on this night. Long, Sculthorpe, back on the inside, Hooper is back.
Again, the inside pass, catching them out.
Sculthorpe, Barry Ward, just short is he, or did he get over?
He got over. He'll go to the screen.
Was it a try or was it a double movement?
I think it all went over, but he certainly bounced. The first impact with the ball is in the field of play. There. But I think he's just slid over. I don't think there's any movement of the arm there at all. This will be TRY. Bang. And I think he's just dragged it. Watch for the ball carrying arm. It's short there. And I think just momentum takes him. This will be another try for Saints.
First video ref decision goes to St Helens. There was no doubt in Barry Ward's mind either. Paul Sculthorpe has a kick for a 20-0 lead.
The build-up to this came exactly with the same move they've used 4 or 5 times in this first half, St Helens, and that was bringing the ball back on the inside. That's the way to run under the football. Video referee has got it right. The impact, the momentum. Watch this, Sculthorpe back on the inside. That shows you they're just not scooping in. Bang, they were all at sea. They are not getting the defence sorted out, but you can blame the first and second markers for that. It's going to be a riot.
Well, it could be. And St Helens with Sean O'Loughlin in the sin bin still, and Dennis Betts passing the message on that Stuart Raper obviously wants taking out, as Paul Sculthorpe from in front of the sticks makes it 20 points to 0 to the champions. Well, Wigan will say it should have been a penalty up the other end, because O'Loughlin's in the bin for a very similar offence. But Barry Ward took full advantage. And look at that scoreboard in the background, 20-0. Wigan with it all to do.
It's going to blow.
25 minutes gone, just less than a point a minute for the champions.
Let him out one.
3 tries. Wigan shell-shocked, reeling. It's It's a test of their character now, and there's so many young men out there. This is Mickey Hyam. Brown did well to get the tackle in.
Well, Paul Sculthorpe was one of our guests last weekend, and he said quite clearly that there was no problem. There was a good feeling in the Saints dressing room. There's certainly a good feeling in the Saints field of play too. They are up for this one. Wigan have got no answer. Being completely outplayed in every single department by this eager St Helens side, getting into their faces. Not just one, but they're swarming over them. Look at them. 3 straight in, nowhere to go.
3, release. Come on, Paul. Let him up. Way, lads. Way.
Newton at dummy half. Here's Terry O'Connor now.
Paul, get off it. Back to his line.
Newton again. Nick Graham. Little half break from Graham, and along with an important tackle the last. Newton puts boot to ball, crossfield kick. Gardner's there.
It's not a bad one either. Gardner actually coming from the touchline. Oh, that's confidence for you, isn't it? 3 weeks ago, Gardner would have died with that football, would have taken no risk whatsoever. 20 points to nil. You can go for broke.
Here is Joint. Back on the inside to Stuart Jones. He's lost that.
That was a big hit. Certainly knocked on, but that was one big hit, I can assure you. On the inside, just caught him on the shoulder.
Paul Johnson has been taken from the field. I think Bill's got some news on him.
Yeah, it's turning out to be another problematic night for Wigan as far as injuries go. They've got enough to be contending with already, but now Paul Johnson seems to have picked up a hamstring injury. He's had treatment on the sidelines, and they're not sure whether he's going to be able to reappear, and they really could do with his defensive qualities at the moment in the face of this Helens onslaught.
Wigan cough up possession again. This is Paul Sculthorpe.
Well, it hasn't been a problem so far. They come up very early in the tackle count. There's a penalty, interfering at the play of the ball. They're trying everything.
Well, they're trying to slow St Helens down, aren't they?
They sure are. That's why I get back to the point. Why on earth did they take the tap 15 metres out when they could have just calmed it down then?
Well, last week you were critical of Wakefield for doing exactly that. It's 14 no doubt.
Yeah,
but
at a different point of time. Wakefield at least had some football that game. Wigan have hardly seen it.
Jason.
That was an error by St Helens, though. They didn't find touch. That's why Wigan have the ball here. From that penalty, this is Danny Sculthorpe. That's a great offload to Newton.
Offside. He'll play on.
Yes, he didn't touch it. He went for it, Chris Joint, and then thought better of it. It's back to 0 on the tackle count for Wigan. They're having a bit of possession now, but Andy Farrell can't get away from his markers. Newton, Danny Sculthorpe. Offloads, good hands.
Great stuff.
Touched again, play on. It's Briscoe who's joined the line. He's got Lamb on his inside. Oh, great defence from Hyam. 6 to go. This now is Gareth Robb.
Offside.
They're offside, St Helens. Nick Graham taps and restarts. Sculthorpe. Newton back to Lamb. And Lamb has thrown it back 10 metres. Hodgson's picked up the bits.
Ball's knocked on.
Backwards. Went backwards. Play on. Oh, Wigan are throwing the ball to nobody.
Looking to get away with it, and he knows it's Stuart Raper.
That's one.
First tackle. And this is Luke Robinson.
Back with me.
Just it in late, Luke Robinson, when Ainscough was taken out of the side. Here is O'Connor.
Quick play the ball, that's what's needed. They're holding him down.
Newton finds Farrell, touched again. Pinched back.
Play on.
Hodgson plays the whistle, will touch down. Referee will take a look at all of that. It needs clarifying
just go back
by the video referee.
The actual tackle.
I think this could be a try.
Sean Long attempted to get the ball.
And my mind goes back to remember when at Headingley when
the tackle if there was.
Didn't play to the whistle, kick the ball into the stands when all he had to do was go through and score under the sticks.
Sean Long shoots out. Listen, from that point.
Sean Long came out, right? That was knocked down, that's going backwards. That is not a knock-on. That is going backwards. This is going to go for TRY for me. Farrell, that went backwards. You can't call that a knock-on.
It's this one here.
Yep. That's knocked down. Gardner's got a hand to it. I'm going to go for try, Eddie.
He did well there, Kevin Brown.
Did he ever? Kept his cool. And this fella Hodgson said, I'm going in for the 4 points.
Saints stopped and Hodgson didn't. And that is off Gleeson.
Yeah, that's fine. So that really should have gone back to 6 more. So that's not a knock-on.
It is by Saints.
Number 1, yeah, but not by Wigan.
No, play on.
And Long.
This is the next one.
Yeah, he's going to look for Long. Now, this is the first one from Gleeson. And then Long. This is a point of impact. He tried to flick it. That's a knock-on. From Gardner. He picks it up. Does well to the youngster Kevin Brown. Hodgson said, I'm taking 4. And I think they're going to give it to him. Wigan confident. They're back for the kick-off. Saints hanging around on their 10. TRY coming up. I am confident.
And Ian Ollerton, tonight's video referee, agrees with you. It's a try to David Hodgson. And maybe that will breathe a bit of life into Wigan's challenge here. Or will it upset Saints?
Well, it's one of the oldest rules in the world. In any sport, you play to the whistle, and that's exactly what they've done. Good work, combination, Kevin Brown. Hodgson said, I'm going in. You can all stand around and complain as much as you want. Gleeson first. Then the impact. This touch of the fingers by Gardner. It's an easy one, but probably one of the most important this season for Wigan.
Indeed so, it just gives them hope. David Hodgson in good form. It's his only game of the year against Saints on Good Friday. Now then, Andrew Farrell. Important kick for his team. Doesn't miss those. 20 points to 6, but importantly, Wigan on the board.
Such a huge psychological lift. We often talk about it, the score, just as you're looking down the half-time siren. It's a great boost, but the St. Helens side must be wondering what on earth had gone on there. They just, half of them stopped.
Long this time with a deep kick-off. Wigan have lost each of their last 3 visits to Knowsley Road, and they were nil for the first time in Super League in this fixture last year. They also lost 24-8 in the playoffs. They've not got a crash-hot record at Knowsley Road lately, but maybe Phil Clark, that try, will give them hope.
Yes, it will. One that will also be regretting was the missed opportunity when Adrian Lamb burst through, couldn't quite find Briscoe, and eventually O'Loughlin was simbing. That was a certain 6 points had they found the man. But likewise for St. Helens at 20 points to nil with a penalty inside their own half. The inability to find touch was a costly mistake. At that chance there, attacking the Wigan line, they had a chance to kill off Wigan's hopes. As it is, they've given Wigan to manage it, and the game's back on.
Game is back on, and it's a much more vigorous chase by this Wigan side. Gareth Hock is out there and leading the way. Number 23, Nick Graham, and Sean O'Loughlin out of the sin bin with that tackle. Here is Paul Mueller, a man with a point to prove, and very much in the shop window now that he will not be offered a new contract at Knowsley Road next year. Super League clubs, I think, will be eyeing Mr. Mueller very carefully between now and the end of the year.
No doubt about that. It depends what sort of money we're talking about, though, Eddie. That's the big question.
Long drifts the ball over the top.
Bit strong.
Yes, Briscoe and Hodgson electing to allow the ball to run dead. But if Wigan could score again before half-time, what a match we would have in the second half. Saints, though, a whirlwind start.
Oh, they have. Invariably, they always produce the goods. I always look forward to it myself, personally. Nothing to do with either club, but boy, oh boy, they've produced some fantastic matches.
Oh, that's a great run from Gareth Hock. They're trying to get up with him. Hock tries to ride the tackle, but Wellens did well. In fact, he delayed Gareth Hock. This is Lamb, now it's Farrell. Farrell will come back this way. Gives it to Gareth Hock again, he straightens up once more, Hock. Thought about the offload, thought better of it. Newton had done me half. All offside, Saints. Newton attacking the line. Still going. And they're offside, as I suspected.
Offside. 3 metres in front of me.
The pressure is suddenly now on Saints' line.
Hang on.
Quick tap, they've taken it. O'Connor.
On your line. One.
Well, the break from Gareth Hock, and then he got himself involved 2 tackles further on.
Newton. Lamb. Lamb gets the ball away. Oh, what a great tackle that was by Gleeson on Luke Robinson.
It had to be, he came out of the line.
Brown.
Hands up for 3.
Only a baby face, but this fella's going to be big, and that's why Wigan have got him on an extended deal now. Lamb. Lamb.
Oh, it was try
Farrell
time.
puts the ball forward, knock off.
It was try time. Newlove came out of the line, tried to get a boot to it. Oh, they're taking a big gamble there. That would have been try time. It was difficult one for Farrell to pick up. This is the break from Hock.
Walk away, okay?
They did well to cover through.
Just make sure
As
you walk
Eddie
away,
said,
mate.
Wellens just lined him up. Just hesitated a few seconds, make sure that he had to commit himself. Oh, it's on. They're throwing him in there. Sculthorpe's doing very well.
Stuart Jones and Danny Sculthorpe.
Well, he didn't miss Mr. Sculthorpe, that's for sure.
Referee wants a word. He's in the sin bin now.
Will you be quiet, please? I've got the microphone, okay?
Well, it's not exactly alias Smith and Jones, is it? But they certainly were face to face. Don't normally see this in the scrum. They normally lean against each other, and I think Danny Sculthorpe gave his skipper, Andy Farrell, a beautiful left hook. If you see that on replay,
I can't get a penalty out of
I
that.
think that Mr. Farrell has caught a beautiful left hook from his own player, Danny Sculthorpe. It was a cracker. Whack. Farrell's head went back. Watch it. He gets pulled to one side. Boom. Yes, straight in the face of Farrell. Boy, this is tough, even from your own players.
Referee couldn't give a penalty, both equally to blame, so it's just 2 more men in the sin bin. But Jones and Danny Sculthorpe were at it down here earlier on.
Nothing to do with the tackling, it's just got Tommy.
Craig Smith now is penalised for a flop.
And rightly so. As the referee said, you had nothing to do with it. It's tackle. Why on earth did you do it?
It was nothing to do with Luke Robinson. It's to do with Craig Smith, who's there again. Newton picks the legs up. Craig Smith messing around as Joint gets to his feet. And Mickey Hyam to Darren Britt. Britt starting to run strongly tonight. Hyam. Sean Long. Paul Sculthorpe. Delayed the pass wide. So quick, this match. This is Newlove, who gets to his feet. Plays the ball. Sculthorpe. Here is Mickey Hyam. Wrestle to the ground. Sculthorpe clapping his hands. Gives it to Long. Long will attack the line. He'll float it wide to A.D. Gardner. Inside Hodgson.
Did
Robinson.
well there. Did well, did Gardner.
And they keep the ball alive against St Helens. Gleeson. Oh, it's gone behind everyone. Hooper picks it up. It's the last tackle.
Surely Long will kick.
It's with Long. Short ball. Great defence.
Went for the power play.
Back, shot. Come on.
Didn't he do well, Gardner, there? I'm getting out of it. You know, that David Hodgson was zoning in. But the defence from Saints this first half been nothing short of outstanding.
Craig Smith into the chest of Chris Joint. Gets the ball away to Hodgson. He bounces off. Gardner. Hodgson's got some pace, but it's Hodgson against the entire St Helens defence. And Wellens with a fabulous tackle. Here now is Gareth Hock. Beg your pardon, Kevin Brown. This is Briscoe. This is boiling up to a cracker.
He's got to be penalised.
And he is.
No.
Quick tap. He's got away.
The whistle, please. No, it wasn't a clear break.
No doubt about it, he had a second bite. Nicky Ian Briscoe wanted to get on with it. Quite clear to everybody. Quick tap, away they go.
It's with Craig Smith.
To me!
Well, a try now for Wigan. Traditionally, it's the danger area for opposition facing Wigan, this. And this is Gareth Hock.
Oh, he got a bang, a real big bang there.
Off Darren Britt it was.
Britt just threw his body there. That looked forward, but they won't mind. He's in for a try, is he?
Craig Smith just hauled back short of the post. Craig Smith disentangles himself from 4 defenders. Plays the ball to Newton. Newton gives it to Robinson. Try for Wigan. Right on the bell, as traditionally they do. It was 20-0 not long ago. It's 20-10 now. Kick to come. Wigan suddenly have belief again. The youngsters are doing it for Stuart Raper once again.
Now they ever, they combining well. Hock gets one big hit. Smith, look at the strength here. They're keeping it going. And from here, wonderful work from the hooker, Terry Newton. How he held his ball up there, and he came on the angle, did Robinson. He's impressed me since he's come from the bench, Robinson. Oh, that is sheer quality. Yes, he says. Gleeson saying, come out wide. Oh, that is superb rugby league football.
Farrell adds the extra 2. It's been a big last 10 minutes of this first half for Wigan. They're back in the hunt in a big way. Stuart Raper was ill yesterday and most of today. I bet he's feeling 100% better right now. Robinson's try, converted by Andrew Farrell. From 20-0 down after 25 minutes, Wigan are in with a sniff as we approach half-time. What a game.
Must keep back, lads. Back!
Well inside the last minute as Saints restart. Hodgson. Craig Smith. Jason Hooper gets to him, but he offloads to Hodgson.
Let him up, boys. Get up.
Well, we said over the past 5 or 6 weeks, Eddie, that these Wigan youngsters, they really have done the club proud.
Get up it.
A lot of them baby-faced. And it was those youngsters that put them downfield. Hock with a wonderful break. Combination. The youngsters, Sean O'Loughlin, Briscoe involved. Exciting times for rugby league in this country.
Great offload there by Hock.
Great work from Scully.
He was all over Robinson then.
Paul, of course.
And Newton didn't like the fact that Darren Smith took him out as he got the kick in. The match has finished acrimoniously in the first half. There have been 3 men in the sin bin. Let's take a look at this. There's the kick. Oh, and Darren Smith went for him. And the referee was bang on the spot, but he had already blown, I think, for half-time. Well, quite a game. Smith and Newton involved, but Robinson, Luke Robinson, wearing number 20 for Wigan, has just scored his first ever Super League try for the club. And how important will that be in the second half? The first half was blistering for St Helens for 25 minutes, but Wigan are off the canvas. The gap's 8 at half-time.
Tomorrow, a Celtic celebration, Ford International Football, 2 crucial Euro qualifiers. Bertie Vogts leads Scotland against Germany. And the Republic of Ireland face Albania. But first to the Southern Hemisphere, Zurich Rugby Union, Ireland against world champions Australia. And Scotland travel to South Africa to take on the Springboks. Celtic Day on Sky Sports, it's live, live it.
Just a minute. Listen, when you're out, you really should take precautions. Best be safe. Take this.
With its intelligent protection system, the Ford Mondeo is one of the safest places to be.
change? Can you change your mobile price plan whenever you like? You can with Perfect Fit from Vodafone.
Anyone aged 12 years or over who fishes for coarse fish, salmon, trout or eels in England and Wales must have a valid Environment Agency rod licence. Failure to produce a valid licence is a criminal offence with a maximum fine of up to £2,500.
I'm an Environment Agency water bailiff carrying out rod licence inspections. Please can I see your rod licence?
You can get an Environment Agency rod licence from any post office, on the internet or by telephone.
Manny Minoso, the Cuban Comet. 1957, he won baseball's first Golden Glove. He wasn't the fastest outfielder, didn't have the strongest or straightest arm, and as many could jump a hell of a lot higher. But out there, he'd get an inkling. When that ball flew, he'd be waiting for it. Put out 340 batters in just one season. But that's not luck. That's being in the right place at the right time. And that's what brings home the bacon.
Half the price of BT 192. We'll save you.
118888. Yes, I believe in miracles.
Their price plans.
Well, a fantastic match here at Nosey Road this evening. This is the first course. The second course will be served up at Headingley tomorrow night. Leeds, league leaders, will take on the Castleford Tigers, Sky Sports 1, from 6 o'clock. And then we have two games, as always, for you this weekend from the NRL in Australia. First of all, in the morning, North Queensland against Penrith is live. This one's on Sky Sports Extra at 10:30. And on Sunday, all the tries scored in the NRL this weekend, plus the action of Wests against Manly, 10:30, Sky Sports 2. Half-time at Nosey Road, and Saints and Wigan are serving up a thriller. It looked like St Helens for all money at 20-0, but Hodgson, Robinson and Farrell's two goals have given us a second half to look forward to. There's only 8 points in it, and any coach will tell you in the Super League that an 8-point lead at half-time is absolutely nothing. And I'm sure that Darryl Powell of the Leeds Rhinos is here with Steve O'Meara tonight, will agree with that. Wigan are back in this, aren't they, in a big way?
Well, they certainly are, and it's been a game of two 20-minute periods. I thought St Helens were fantastic at the start, and you could tell their intentions with the short kick-off. They're very good at it, and they got the ball back, and they were fantastic, play with great confidence in that first 20 minutes. But Wigan, they've created so many chances, 2 alarm breaks, 2 hawk breaks, and they've just not quite been clinical when they made the breaks. They could be in front in this game.
They could be. We mentioned the young players. There are also some very good experienced hands around them, like Farrell, like Lamb, like Cassidy O'Connor when he's on the field, Craig Smith. But the youngsters, you know what Stuart Raper's going through this year, don't you? You went through it last year. You had to throw so many of your youngsters in.
Well, they've got some quality about them, the young kids, and Gareth Hawke's been fantastic since he came onto the field. He's busted them up a couple of times. The experience around them is vital, but the young players have so much enthusiasm, and they're talented as well, and they're pretty tough mentally. They go about the job very well, and they've done a real good job for Wigan tonight.
They have done a good job, because any other team, Steve-O, other than Wigan, just might have been blown away after the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it certainly appeared that way, didn't it? As Darryl mentioned, the little short kick-off, they put down their intentions very, very clearly indeed. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. It was enthusiasm that they've always been lacking over the past 4 or 5 weeks. Not on this occasion. Wellens took the ball there. Lamb went very, very high. It's always tough in these situations, but from that position, they did ever so well. Look at this. Second runner back on the inside. Chris Joint did well. Just put Lamb out of the equation into the defence, and it was Gleeson with the first try. And then the kick. Beautiful kick into the corner there, and they wanted it. You could see the difference. The Wigan players didn't want it at all. Look for the back on the inside here, and it's Chris Joint yet again. He'll motion with his left hand, come on the inside. That sucks in the winger in the centre. Gardner back on the inside. Wellens. Were we looking at a cricket score? Well, you thought so. And then there was a long pass. This is where they've been catching Wigan out in the defence in the first 25 minutes. The first receiver coming back, he was taken out. Didn't give a penalty try, not surprisingly. And then this is the Ward try. Again, watch that inside pass. First and second markers, they're not working, or were not at that point. Ward, no doubt about it, no second movement, in for it. And it looked like they was going to get a bucketful against them. Then we had the mess up. It was Gleeson with a knock on, then Long. There's an old saying, isn't there? You play to the whistle. And watch Brown here. Get it out of the way. You could see there, Hodgson. He said, I'm taking an easy 4 points. Everyone else stood around. In fact, even the Wigan fans were a little bit reluctant to celebrate on that one. Then Newton. What a beautiful pass. Absolutely superb. They really are well and truly back in this game. And you always have to get the wonderful feeling that they are really in for it. They have an absolutely wonderful situation, isn't it? You look as though you're down and out, you get off the canvas, and you say, we'll have a few kick-off. And this was a kick-off, wasn't it? And if you watch closely, Sculthorpe and Jones, Farrell comes in, and he gets a beauty. Ready, Andy? Whack! Now, that normally would have put many a player on the floor. That shows you how strong Andy Farrell is. But it's amazing. We say it's tough in this game, even from your own players. I love it.
Been a fabulous first half, and well, St Helens breathtaking early on. But Phil Clark, I'd just like to talk to you about the Wigan youngsters. You know, you started your career very young. Andy Farrell did. Jason Robinson did. I suppose if you're good enough, you're old enough, aren't you, for Wigan?
Yeah, I think so. And what you think then you need is the chance. You need to prepare yourself, because you don't know when the opportunity will arise. But when it does, you've got to take it with both hands, which is exactly what Gareth Hock's doing here tonight. I think really his second phase play, offloading the ball out to the back to supporting players, is probably what's made Wigan look the most dangerous in the second half of that first half. We see basketball games go from one end to the other, but it's rare to see a game of rugby league move as quickly as this one has here tonight. Truly breathtaking game. St Helens started the half very well with their try, but Wigan finished it equally as well. I also thought it was worth just a very impressive early performance from Keith Mason in the front row for St Helens. He went off for a breather, but when he comes back on, he's made a bit of a difference to the St Helens side.
You talk about players making a difference, Clarkie. I must say that when Dennis Sculthorpe came off the bench, he certainly ignited this Wigan set of forwards.
Yeah, I think that up until that point, Wigan had a lot of ball, but he does take them forward, and he again has the ability to get an arm around and offload it to a supporting player like an Adrian Lamb or a Terry Newton, who again has been impressive for Wigan. And you know, there's some real quality on show here today, and it's played with a lot of passion.
Passion, quality, it's here in abundance. There'll be more, of course, tomorrow at Headingley. Leeds against Castleford. Darryl Powell, you said before the match, St Helens looked a good bet after 25 minutes. Sticking with them?
Yeah, I think so, Just, but I think both coaches will be concerned around the ruck area. St Helens really early, they were playing flat at the line with the inside pass, and they got a few breaks from that. And Wigan as well, Newton out of there, Hawks made a couple of breaks. Lamb's caused them a lot of trouble when he's gone back to the play the ball area. So I think both coaches will be looking to tidy that up. Probably the team that comes out and tightens up around the ruck area probably get away with it, but it's too close to call still, I think. I'll go just for St Helens, but you know, Wigan have come back great, and it's so close, and another fantastic night for rugby league.
Indeed so. It's a sport that is often in the showcase, and they very are on the front foot, these two sides tonight, because they are both absolutely desperate for the win, and it shows, doesn't it? Look at that pass from Newton. Look at this try from Robinson. More to come, please, in the second half. I'm sure it will.
Things that make you go,
Introducing the new Berry and Yogurt Crunch.
Yogurt, berries and crunchy cereal with less than 5% fat. Just 9.
You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar when I met you.
Now, 5 years later on, you've got the world at your feet. Success has been so easy for you. But don't forget it's me that put you where you are now. And I can put you back down too. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Minnie Minoso, the Cuban Comet. 1957, he won baseball's first Golden Glove. He wasn't the fastest outfielder, didn't have the strongest or straightest arm, and as Minnie could jump a hell of a lot higher. But out there, he'd get an inkling. When that ball flew, he'd be waiting for it. Put out 340 batters in just one season. But that's not luck. That's being in the right place at the right time. And that's what brings home the bacon.
Meanwhile, on planet Earth, a doctor monitors his patients. A merchant no longer does business as usual. Hackers start a new career path. And two long-distance lovers finally see what they've been missing. Seemingly random events, all tied together by the systems of one company, Cisco Systems. This is the power of the network, now.
Here we are.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks.
Holidays can be expensive. To help ease the pain, we now fly to the U.S. from as low as £259. We are united.
Chew on that, sucker. Weedol kills weeds fast.
Things that make you go,
The delicious new feta cheese and pasta salad with less than 5% fat.
Don't you want a limited edition Punto from 6595 with one year's free insurance and a free CD player? Of course you do. Call 0800 71 7000.
The Saturday premiere.
Nobody gets the goods like you, Joe. Anybody can get the goods. The hard part's getting away. Everybody needs money. That's why they call it money. She's the go-getter.
I'm the go-getter. You tell me what you want me to go get.
The deal is we get away with the gold. And then what? We slip away. 1, wait a second. 2, wait a second. 3.
Heist. Tomorrow at 8 on Sky Movies premiere.
Live International Rugby Union coming up tomorrow. Sky Sports 2 from 9:30. Australia taking on Ireland, and from 1:30, Sky Sports Extra, South Africa against Scotland. St Helens have emerged at the start of the second half. That's the way it stands at the break. Saints 20, Wigan 12. Here are the statistics. Well, there's not much to choose, although look at the offloads that Wigan have made in that first 40 minutes. Runs from dummy half, a level pegging. Handling errors, not too much to choose, neither of the missed tackles. And Cassidy and Joint leading the tackle count with Hyam and Newton. And the breaks, Cunningham and Hodgson and Lamb and Terry Newton with 5 offloads, and one of them an absolute belter, leading to the Luke Robinson try. The Wigan fans hoping that perhaps this will be their night after all. Terry Newton finished squaring up to a St Helens player at the end of the second half, Darren Smith. But the Saint supporters hoping that they will get a start like they got just around about an hour ago. But it's Wigan who will get the game in motion at the start of the second 40. What have the two coaches said to their charges? We'll be checking with Bill shortly. Andy Farrell gets us underway into the chest of Sean Long. And here is Anthony Stewart.
To me, one.
Well, more of the same, please, fellas. I wonder if they can produce it, though, Steve-O.
I think they can. Donald Powell made mention of the fact that it was Wigan in the final 15 minutes of that first half that were making inroads, making a lot of breaks at a time when it looks like Saints were going to absolutely blitz them off the park.
Good hands from St Helens, Hyam to Smith, and then wide to Gleeson. 4 tackles gone. Gardner was the dummy half. Long with the kick, rather. And Aspinwall will chase after this. The ball spinning all over the place. Through his legs. Good chase again from Saints, led by Newlove and Mike Bennett. The Lachlan dummy half. Here is Sean Briscoe.
Hands up, 2. Let him up. Wait, lads.
Aspinwall.
Works overtime, doesn't he, Mickey Hyam?
Oops. Graham over the shoulder, went backwards. Got away with it. Will be breathing a sigh of relief. Newton. Craig Smith. Makes a little half break, dumps the ball down. Here is Luke Robinson. They're asking for 6 to go, Wigan.
Not with a new rule, they won't. Won't be allowed.
It is. He's wiped the tackle count down.
That's 0.
Graham. And that's going to be 0 again.
Oh, swinging arm there from Newland.
Oh, he's hurt himself.
He swung his arm and it could be 0. Oh, don't tell me, he looks as though he's broken it. I think he's broken the wrist or the forearm.
Well, they will play on because Aspinwall is making the break down the line. Aspinwall trying to turn Wellens. Great tackle by Wellens, and Newland's in all sorts of problems.
Well, he went very high and the wrist certainly made contact.
Ball behind him. Play on the bounce. And there's a chance here for Brown. And Brown has scored.
Just check in.
They're going to check it out first now, but Kevin Brown
Was there a knock-on off Craig Smith or not?
Was there a knock-on from Craig Smith? Russell Smith wants to know. Wigan could have caught Saints cold here with Newlove going off the field with what looks like a bad arm injury.
Well, he was swinging the arm, wasn't he? No, he went behind him. Definitely went behind him. He can't give that as a knock-on. But quick thinking here. 2 awful passes. There's the first one, went to nobody. And that's going backwards for mine. And then the pass after that looked a bit dodgy. Now then he'll want to see if there's any forward motion. That's
If it moves
the key.
a fraction of an inch forward before it hits the deck, it's a knock-on.
No, I don't think he gets a fingertip to it. I think it hits him on the backside. And I've never known a backside be given as knock-on.
This is the decision of Ian Elton. The try is given. Kevin Brown signed a new deal last week, didn't play against Leeds, but has just come up with his 4th try of Super League 8. And how precious could that be?
Well, it's amazing. 2 very, very bad passes. First from Lamb, went nowhere, went behind, and then not the best yet again. He'd come out of the line at Gardner, and when you do that, you commit yourself, you've got the overlap. And young Brown, they have put these youngsters on the paddock well before they were ready, and as each minute ticks away, this is the incident. Newlove definitely gets to it, and watch this, whack. And that has broken the wrist or the forearm. Either way, Newlove, well, we were speaking about Newlove looking for another club.
Farrell with the conversion attempt. He's slid it over, you know. And Wigan are back in a big way. St Helens 20, Wigan 18. And listen to the Saints fans now, they're quiet. Listen to the Wiganers, they're ecstatic.
And the youngsters, yet again, are digging deep. They were very quiet in the opening 25 minutes. And there is a young fella. We often mention it. It looks as though he should be in short pants and braces.
He does. Great start for Wigan. Let's catch up with the halftime news and news news on Paul Newlove. Bill.
It's early news of Paul Newlove, but it does look like a hand injury of some sort, and I think the thinking is it could be a dislocation, probably the thumb for Paul Newlove, so it's possible that they could reset that and he could come back, but he was in an awful lot of pain, as are St Helens at the moment, because from a position of command they've let it slip away, and it's all about regaining composure as far as Ian Millward and his team are concerned. Then the other man who's been doing them damage is Danny Sculthorpe, and Sculthorpe winning a penalty there, but it's his offloads that Saints are worried about. They've really got to try and stop that, but the momentum as far as Wigan go, and their coach Stuart Raper is very much with his team, and they need to just take advantage of that at the moment. The wind is in their sails, and they have to really try and ram home the advantage now.
Well, the Saints supporters saw the replay of that penalty. They're not crash hot impressed with it. This is Danny Sculthorpe. He's making a difference again tonight. Here is Farrell. Robinson.
Eager for work as well as a youngster.
Here is Nick Graham. This now is Sean O'Loughlin, grounded by Darren Smith.
Had the chance to offload there, O'Loughlin.
Aspinwall. Newton. Saints flying out of the line. This is Lamb. Lamb to Farrell. Farrell offloads. Robinson again. Luke Robinson.
He's a live wire. Wigan on at this point in time.
Farrell picked up by Graham, offloaded back to Farrell. Farrell hangs on and Hyam wouldn't be fooled. Last tackle for Wigan, 11 metres away. Newton, Nick Graham drifts the kick in. There's a chance for Robinson.
He scored.
Luke Robinson.
Check onside,
if he's offside, he's got his second try.
Well, I thought one of the Wigan players was taken out from that kick. It looked as they were aiming for the post, but he flips up there, and the eager beaver, Luke Robinson, has come up with an absolute classic. Graham knew that there was nowhere to go.
He's a mile on.
Oh, well onside. But you may as well check. Well, the kicker certainly went down, but it doesn't matter. The impact here, there perhaps was movement. Sean Briscoe was the man taken out there, and Robinson, Luke Robinson, well, he's been looking for work ever since he came in.
And her shot by Gleeson.
Should have gone for the football with the hands he did. And well, he'll remember this.
Well, he'll remember this. He'll remember this ground. He was in the Great Britain team that beat the Aussie schoolboys last year. And he's got a try that gives Wigan the lead for the first time. Second try of the night for Luke Robinson. Began this evening with none in Super League 8. It's suddenly 2. And there's a crisis now for Ian Millward.
An amazing game.
What a comeback.
Unbelievable. Graham's kick through. Fullback Briscoe gets taken out. But this young fella, Robinson, raises the arms in adulation, and why not? It has been a cracker. Standing around. This game lasts for 80 minutes. And someone better tell this Saints outfit very, very quickly indeed. Sean Long trying to lift the spirits. They had this game just like they had at the JJB.
Yes, it was in their pocket. Now they have to come from behind to win it. 24-20 to Wigan. 1, 2, 3, 4 tries after they were 20-0 down.
Well, Stuart Raper, after that comeback over the Easter weekend, said it was probably one of the greatest victories he's ever been involved with. That was on his home ground. Imagine if he comes up with a win now.
He's certainly got the Indian sign over Ian Millward, you know, in the game.
Away from home.
Oh, that's a great kick-off from Sculthorpe. And this is Craig Smith.
Nerves must have been jangling there for young Robinson. He took the kick-off, and he took it confidently.
Hands up, 2.
Danny Sculthorpe plays the ball to Adrian Lamb. Here is Craig Smith.
You know, I said at Boots and All last Wednesday when you were with me, and we were talking about youngsters that have got to be given a chance in this Origin game that's coming up. The way that Danny Sculthorpe has played, and the likes of Briscoe, they've got to be given that opportunity.
They have. This is Hodgson. Last one here for Wigan. Lamb will get the kick in. Good crossfield kick as well, turning them round. Oh, and Stewart's got to get out of trouble here. He can't. Goal line drop out underneath the sticks coming up. Super kick.
This is like the Spanish Inquisition, isn't it? They're both on the rack, one way or the other. What a night for that young kid there. Scored the try, took the kick off. He's in dreamland. Long way to go, though. Only 4 points the difference. We've already seen the turnaround and how quickly that can happen.
Get him low.
Lamb to Craig Smith. Suddenly Wigan are running hot now.
Composure will be the word that's sent out from both coaches. Don't give away a silly penalty.
Danny Sculthorpe, good hit by Jason Hooper.
2 to me.
Wigan will be hunting a penalty so they can make it 6-point lead.
Farrell. He'll be invigorated by these youngsters around him as well. Newton. Robinson, hero of the hour. Lamb. Graham.
You talk about confidence. This Robinson is taking first receiver now, pushing Adrian Lamb out wide.
Newton just delays, finds Lamb as a gap, goes wide. He is Kevin Brown again. Kevin Brown, second try. If you're good enough, you are old enough. And Kevin Brown, Luke Robinson, Gareth Hock, none of them are anywhere near 20, but they have taken this game and they have punched the champions almost into submission.
Took the gamble, out of position yet again, and they pay the price. Sean Long came around the angle, and the youngster Brown is the teacher's pet, all right. What a great take. You could see there Long had committed himself. The coach is pretty happy.
The directors aren't too sad either.
He's calm. He knows that they have come back yet again. Well,
Kevin Brown, a good job that you gave him the watch, Steve-O. He got to the JJB Stadium on time to pick up the bus tonight.
Well, if he goes for another hat-trick this season, he's probably looking up at me and saying he needs an alarm clock. What a turnaround. I've just been given some stats. Gardner has missed 5 tackles and made no tackles in the entire game. You expected that in the opening 25 when they were in control.
Farrell with his conversion attempt then, kicking well tonight. Kicking brilliantly tonight. 30-20 Wigan. A quite incredible turnaround. You can't tip this game, I'll tell you. You cannot predict it. Fantastic.
So's this young kid as well. I know you're old enough, Eddie, to understand it. That expression, I can't believe it.
The Victor Meldrew of Sky Sports speaking there. Last week, we saw Wigan squander a 14-point lead. They lost in the end 30-20 to Leeds at the JJB Stadium. Tonight, Saints were coasting 20-0. 25 minutes gone. It looked finished. Wigan looked dead and buried. Look at the scoreline now.
Well, it just shows you how important that when you get a roll on, when you get a lot of possession, remember it was Saints that had that at the start of this game. They're in control. 80 minutes is a long way. Newton's away.
He is looking for support. Takes the tackle from Wellens. He was too quick for everyone. Wellens pushed him twice. Last tackle. Here's Farrell. Another kick out wide from Farrell. Looking for Aspinwall. It went backwards. Saints have it.
Yeah, it'd have been offside, but he didn't touch it.
Darren Smith near his own line.
Certainly went backwards. No, that was a knock on there. He would have been a scrum down, but he's allowed the advantage of Russell Smith, who I must say, in an exciting, tough game like this, has been outstanding.
Knock on by Jason Hooper. Look at the second half possession. It's all Wigan.
Just watch the leading arm, Danny. Careful, make sure we get it lower.
Oh,
just behind him.
They were sticking in the first half. No boots and all this week, by the way, on Wednesday, but what have we got for you? A real treat. The State of Origin, live from Australia, 10:30, Sky Sports 1. If you can't be with us then, 2 primetime replays, 4 o'clock, Sky Sports 1, 9:45, Sky Sports 2. And you will get the Super League highlights from this weekend in those 2 primetime replays.
Well, that'll be a thriller like we've got tonight.
Fantastic movement from Wigan now. Farrell is stripping the net.
Looking to offload, Cunningham back into the fray.
There's a lovely pass from Briscoe that set him up. Here is Newton. Now it's Danny Sculthorpe. Oh! Interception! Sean Long! Sean Long being trapped, and he had Gardner in support but couldn't get it away from it for him.
Good work from David Hodgson. Long at the legs on Adrian Lamb. Lamb left it to him. What a great intercept.
Here is Keith Mason. Smith and Sculthorpe combined to halt him. What a break from Long. Great vision. Cunningham. Long. Sculthorpe. Delays the pass. Hooper.
Another flat pass. Continuing on with that technique.
Sculthorpe again. Attacking them himself from dummy half. Ball to the ground on the last. Wellens waits.
Long wants it. They'll go for the kick.
He's got it. Long drifts it in. Back off the post. Gracefully dropped on by Adrian Lamb.
Well, it can go anywhere and anywhere. That's the reason why they practice that at the training field. But the pressure here. It's a good kick.
It worked against Wigan last week, that didn't it?
Certainly did, and he was quick to get to it, Adrian Lamb. It's amazing that both Dennis Sculthorpe and Adrian Lamb came back so quickly from those 2 injuries, who were both carted from the field of play. And yet, Ian Millwood knows it's not going to be easy.
So close. Lamb under pressure from Hooper. Gets the kick away. It
40-20.
skips away from Wellens. It's in touch. It's a brilliant 40-20 from Adrian Lamb. What a kick under pressure from Hooper. And it just skipped away from Wellens.
Yeah, I felt that, mate, yeah.
Absolutely superb. Unbelievable kick there. Wellens couldn't do anything about that at all. Now then, is this the coup de grace?
Wellens did all he could, but he allowed it fatally to bounce in front of him, and then the ball just skipped away from him and picked up pace.
And he was being attended to, Adrian Lamb. It wasn't an easy kick.
It wasn't. He was under immense pressure. Now then, Wigan looking to drive the first nail in that lid. Robinson! What a try! A hat-trick for Robinson! Wow! Mark this fella's name down. Luke Robinson, 18 years of age. He fractured his hand in the cup semi-final against the Bulls, but he's bounced back tonight. Luke Robinson with the try. St Helens, the players, the coach, the crowd, they are shell-shocked.
Not only that, the Saints fans are booing their side. Look at the dummy. We talked about the confidence that this lad had. He was actually pushing Adrian Lamb out of the position, first man receiver. There he is in the standoff position. One dummy, one step, then another step and a jink. That is nothing short of sensational. Well, it's the Kevin Brown, Luke Robinson day, isn't it? You little beauty. The chairman likes it. I know he's a great fan of both these two, Kevin Brown and Luke Robinson. And so is that man, Stuart Raper, who I am sure will feel a lot better. He hasn't been too well this week.
He hasn't. He's had a bug of some description. He kept away from training on Thursday. He stayed away from the ground today. He didn't even travel on the bus here. He followed behind in his own car just to keep the virus to himself. And Luke Robinson, I think I lip-read Stuart Raper, then he shouted down to Mike Gregory, get them to calm down. How can you, when Farrell's just kicked you into a 16-point lead? Remember, it was 20-0 to Saints. After 24 minutes, it's been one-way traffic since.
Wonderful play. Look how they both shift out to the left, and then he does the step back on the inside. And again, no one at home, baby. Well, they say, Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter, but boy, oh boy, the Brown and Robinsons act in the second half. You've got a lovely son as well, and same for the Robinson family. This is unbelievable.
And there is one other Wigan player, the last one, to get a hat-trick on this ground for Wigan against Saints. And guess what? His name was Robinson as well. Jason Robinson in 1997. Phil Clark, what do you say about these Wigan youngsters?
What a fantastic performance. You know, I bet they're regretting not picking Kevin Brown last week. He was dropped to the under-21 side and actually won the man of the match in that game. Just goes to show if you give youth a chance, put some stability around it and some experience, and it can do a lot for you. Oh, he's come up with a mistake. The one thing I did think was that Wigan maybe handled their spell in the torture chamber in the first half a little bit better than what St Helens are at the moment. This may be, though, the chance here now, turning point. Possession for St Helens, inside the Wigan half on the first tackle. This could be just how they escape out of jail here, and if it is, this will be the exact time from doing it.
Indeed so, it's in the script, isn't it? The Saints come back from seeming impossible situations and snatch the victory. Gleeson now.
Well, there's plenty of time left, don't worry about that.
Long. Joint.
Saints have had very little possession of this football. They need to get a roll on. They need consecutive sets of 6 just to apply the pressure.
Great ball! Gardner, they're in! Saints are in! Lovely ball wide from Sculthorpe. Gardner with the try. Well, he might have missed 5. He might never have made a tackle, but he's just made a telling contribution here. An hour on the clock, and St Helens with the latest try.
Super work from Sculthorpe there. You can see that David Hodgson didn't read it well. He was well away from the touchline, and he knew it. Great position there by Eddie Gardner. It all came about, of course, from that knock-on from Robinson. He was riding high, but Gardner has given them a lifeline, and as I said before, there are plenty of minutes remaining in this game.
And Andy Farrell now is just trying to steady the youngsters down, try to lift the old fellas as well for another big effort. Gardner, though, well, it's in the script for Saints, isn't it? It really is. If any team can come back from this and get themselves on a roll, St Helens can.
Just one mistake, that's all it takes. And Phil Clark has put the mocker on this Wigan outfit.
Sculthorpe has missed, but Saints will get the ball back from the kick-off. 2 converted tries.
There you see 2-on-1. Hodgson had come right in when he should have been left to Kevin Brown. And when there's no one in front, Mr. Gardner will take full value. 4 points at least.
Stay behind, lads. Make sure we keep on.
Try against Warrington for Eddie Gardner. It was his first start since Easter Monday.
All the way,
try here tonight.
Well, you saw him there, Eddie, trying to lift his team. And this is when you know your supporters. Okay, they were booing when Robinson went in for his second try. This is where the supporters count. They've got to get behind their team. They haven't been playing well. They've been up and down, but support, not chastise.
They were brilliant for 20 minutes. They've been on the back foot for the next 40. They've got 1 substitution left, so that might play against them as well. Here they come. Here comes the cavalry.
You get the feeling that Sculthorpe wants to get more involved, wants part of it.
And so does Cunningham.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you bring on fresh legs like Cunningham. It can just turn the clock, turn the tide.
That's a great kick from Long. It's a hanging kick, but it's carried over the dead ball line, but it was diffused in the in-goal area. Quick tap, they're off.
What confidence in there, Sean Briscoe taking the ball.
Garrett Smith's hurt now.
Oh, that was a high shot as well.
Was from Mason.
Hang on, man, you're really groggy. Hang on a minute. 2, two.
The referee giving Darren Smith the chance to get back into the line. He thought it was a bad injury. Well, it might be, yes. Gareth Hart, knock on by O'Connor. We've just heard up against, by the way, Paul Newlove will not return tonight. Cunningham.
We're getting a little bit too cocky there, trying to offload when they should have been closing things down. Got to use your composure.
Mickey Hyan.
Okay, the 36-24 in front, but there are times when you've just got to slow it down and make the opposition fight for everything.
Keith Mason.
Good run as well. Oh, that was a bad one. He let go just at the right time.
And Mason looks at Newton. Here now. Oh, it's Bennett. It's been picked up by Lamb. It's a great tackle from Wellens.
There was no one at home.
Here comes Aspinwall.
Stuart Raper must get the... What's the tackle here? Big hit.
It's very easy to get carried away with such youthful exuberance in this Wigan side. Here's O'Connor.
But that was a great hit from the standoff Sean O'Loughlin, who's not frightened to put his body on the line. But just saying that Stuart Raper, he'll be getting the message down and saying, hey, come on, let's just control it. You can control it by the kick and chase.
There's O'Loughlin, comes down the short side. Lamb, great kick. Great kick from Lamb.
Just slow it down.
Just a foot inside the line. Look at this.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Not only does it give his side little time to just get their composure, but it's also allows the clock to be ticking away. Been a great servant.
It's been
a Wigan side.
This has been a great match. It's not over yet either, by the way. 16 minutes to go. Gleeson.
Ooh, we tried to offload there, got it back, did well.
Sculthorpe, long, goes wide again. Hooper. Good tackling.
Thing is, Eddie, that both these sides have had to do a lot of work for long periods of play, and the pace of the game, it has been. Oh, O'Connor's out, is it? No, he was all right.
No, he's trying to get out of the way. Oh, Gleeson went behind everybody. This is Gardner. He's going to be in touch, is he? No, he stays in somehow.
I'm just saying that the pace of this game, how much gas has either side left?
And perhaps, crucially, that one interchange left by St Helens could count against them.
Well, it's thrown the big guns back in.
Last tackle here for Saints long. Sculthorpe went without it. Lamb, I thought, was going to pick it up. It's the turnover.
He didn't want to. Sculthorpe just can't believe this season. He was absolutely outstanding for the past 2 years. That's the reason why he was the man of steel. In consecutive years, he's been a little bit off form. It looked as though he was getting back into it, wasn't it? At 24-36, the confidence was growing back into this Saints outfit. And O'Connor, he knows the way. They're just calming it down. Cassidy knows it too. These are good tactics.
Forwards doing the hard work. Then they will let their youngsters explode. On the back of this run from Lamb.
Another drive, then utilise a kick into the in-goal area.
Graham finds hero of the moment, Robinson. Not the best pass, but Kevin Brown makes it okay. And has the confidence to take them on.
Well, you wouldn't think it would take 3 men to put him down, would you?
Farrell. Lamb. Shaped a kick. Fooled them all. What a pass! Just short.
What a tackle there.
Just short Mark Smith. Sculthorpe saved the day.
They held off though, yet again. They anticipated the drop goal from Adrian Lamb.
Here is Stewart.
Wigan desperate to keep them within their own quarter. Saints have to be adventurous.
Hands up, 3,
they know they've got to get a score pretty soon. And the reason why they want to do that is because they want to set the alarm bells ringing in the Wigan side. Wigan at the moment have a little bit of a comfort zone.
Well, I was about to say brilliant from Sculthorpe, and it nearly was. It just hit the deck before it reached Gleeson. Look at this. Oh, if he would just have come forward a foot.
Big word, that if. Just not going right. And you could see there, Eddie, as well. You can see the Wigan defence, they were struggling. All the players out there, they'll struggle in these final minutes.
Like to have 10 pence on a 36-all draw.
Make it 5p, you know, I'm pretty tight with my money.
O'Connor.
Well, I'll be going to the forward, to the sticks, and then going the one-pointer. And looked that Adrian Lamb was going to shape up yet again.
Gareth Hock tackled, will play the ball to O'Loughlin. Robinson.
Didn't play at it, so it has not wiped the tackle count.
Mark Smith tackles standing up, no progress forward. Nick Graham. Andy Farrell, Mick Cassidy spins away from one, can't get away from another, flicks the pass, Adrian Lamb. They're taking all sorts of chances, Wigan. That's the last. It's not they who need to force the pace. Farrell with a drop goal attempt. He's spewed it wide. Let's go down to Phil.
Eddie, great game, isn't it? But you've had a bet on the 10 pence 36-all draw. I see it the other way. The next team I see scoring are really Wigan. And it could be right now, you know, the referee just brought them back. He wants the tap to be taken again on the 20-metre mark when he's set in position. You fancy sets, don't you, I know, Eddie, to come back and put 2 tries on, but I just don't think they've completed enough sets, and they've really got enough energy left in the tank here now to trouble Wigan. If anything here, they need a penalty, I think, during this set of 6 to get them close to the Wigan line in attack. At the moment, they're just not able to even buy one. There you can see the completed sets from the Wigan side. It's a fantastic ratio really there, and that's one of the reasons why in this second half they've seen the more dominant team.
St Helens then, the comeback kings, 12 points adrift. The only side you would back to come back and get a draw in a situation like this, or indeed even nip a win.
Well, Saints know that if they allow another try, it's curtains.
Long!
Desperate defence there, Adrian Lamb, the skipper getting
St Helens desperate to get this ball rolling on a quick play the ball. Ward is wrestled to the ground by Lamb. Here is Long, it's on the last. There's the kick from Sculthorpe in centre field. Darren Smith's after this. Darren Smith's come up with it!
He'll be given a try, or is it a knock-on? I think he's going to give this try.
No, he's handed it on. O'Loughlin fumbled it back into his own in-goal area. Has Darren Smith scored, or did he knock on as well?
Well, Mickey Hyam is offside, but I don't think that he involved himself in the play.
Well, look at 16. He's in the corner of your screen. There's no problem here.
That's all right. Now, we've got to make sure that Hyam, and I don't think he's involved in it, no, he's held back.
There's the fumble. Now, what happens here?
Does he hit it?
Oh, I think he's missed it.
Yeah. No, he knocks on and then he gets it the second time. That would have been a try. Now he's got to go back and decide whether Smith just touched the ball. There's no doubt in my mind that O'Loughlin has knocked it back. And then this is the crucial moment. Oh, it hits the forearm. Or does it? Oh, he may have missed it. Oh, this is a very, very difficult one for the video referee. They'll take it frame by frame. Now then, you decide. You're the video referee. You can be him at home. I think he's going to give it.
Well, Darryl Powell, our guest tonight, agrees with you. He has watched this closely too. He would say a try, he says.
Yeah, and I'm with him.
But it's Ian Ollerton who is the video referee, and this is an absolutely critical decision.
Well, maybe the elbow just went over the top. But
he's not convinced, look.
No. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in regards to the attacking side.
I think that's off his hip, and you're right, a benefit of doubt to attacking side.
The arm goes over.
I think he's missed it. Well, it's a 100% call on the gantry, but Ian Ollerton holds the key for Saints.
I'm going to go for TRY. And listen to this crowd when it's announced. And TRY comes up on that big screen in the corner.
Well, listen to 3/4 of the crowd. I don't know what Wigan will say.
I think he's missed it. I'm with you, Eddie.
I think he has.
Yeah, because the ball's coming away.
It doesn't deviate in flight, apart from until it hits his hip.
Yep.
Well, the decision's made. This is one of the biggest calls of the year. Ian Ollerton, what do you say? Stuart Raper with a try. The conversion to come. 36 all is beckoning.
Unbelievable game of rugby league football. Here's the conversion. And it's successful. Sculthorpe looks at the scoreboard.
And he looks, more importantly, I think, waiting to see how much is left.
Took the option. The kick there. Mickey Hyam did the right thing, kept himself out of the area. And he doesn't like it. Disappointed that the video ref has gone against the Wigan outfit, but this man will not be. Plenty of experience.
30 all, St Helens and Warrington last week. We are a try and a goal away from 36 all. 9.5 minutes. Never mind 36 all, it could be 42-36 this.
Or 42 all, it could be anything, couldn't it, the way that these two sides are at it. But I do know one thing. Stuart Raper will be sending out one message, and that is go for the stick for the 1 point. That'll defuse it.
Cunningham gets it to Sculthorpe. St Helens have the sniff of blood now.
Isn't it amazing? The fans were booing their side. I said they should get behind them. They have.
Gleeson. Last tackle here. Wait for the kick from Long. There it is. It's a beauty. It's hit the post again. It's bounced dead.
Ooh, Briscoe took a huge gamble there. He was in two minds whether to dink at that ball. But he looked pretty calm and cool as Sean Briscoe. Sean Long coming to life yet again. How many times did the combination of Paul Sculthorpe and Sean Long turn it around in the past? Can they do it yet again? There's a kick from Sculthorpe, of course, that created the Darren Smith try. Nervous moment for Wigan.
I don't care what any misbeliever says about this game. This is entertainment in the A class. Fantastic effort from these two sides.
You're right, Eddie. Far too often we have people who knock our game.
People within the game.
That's what I'm saying,
knock
yeah.
The game.
That's right.
They want to grow up.
I wish they would.
Smith. Last tackle for Wigan. Drop goal, Farrell. Shaping for it. Farrell's drop goal attempt. Why?
I can remember a famous one here also.
Yes.
That Andy Farrell made sure that they got the 2 points. Put him under good pressure, though.
Well, every time they're within shooting distance now, Farrell or Lamb will have a pot shot.
That's all they got to do. They've got to make sure that the line is solid. Don't give away a silly penalty. That is the most important factor as far as Wigan is concerned. Saints know.
Great
time
defence by O'Loughlin then.
They've got to keep it alive. Quick play of the ball. Try to catch him on the backward motion.
Long. Wouldn't be fooled then, the St Helens defence. Mark Smith and company, Terry O'Connor, and also Farrell. Cunningham. Sculthorpe with a kick. It's a chase now. Just the wrong side, was it? No. I thought the touch judge had his flag up for a minute then, but he pointed to the 20-metre for the restart. And Wigan will be in no hurry to restart.
Good tactics, though. Push it in. They know they get the one-line of defence on the 30-metre line. They've got to try now to force the error.
Well, they stopped the clock, Russell Smith.
It's up the jumper time now. From Wigan, you'll see no finesse. They don't need it. They are not in catch-up football mode.
Saints will hunt that mistake. Craig Smith.
Boy, there's been some heroes out there, haven't there?
I don't know how you, Darrell and Clark, you're going to pick a man of the match out of this. I suppose Robinson will be a candidate. Terry O'Connor. The try scorers inevitably get the plaudits. The big fellas like Terry O'Connor and Craig Smith. Robinson. Farrell. Oh, he's away from Barry Ward. He's away from the second. He nearly got away from Mike Bennett. That's the last one. They're going to have to kick for territory here with Lamb, and he does, down centre field. That will run deep. That will run dead. Saints turn.
Same thing. Straight on the 30-metre line. Force the error, force the mistake, but most importantly, as far as Wigan's concerned, don't have your first line of defence breached.
This is Keith Mason. What a night. What a night to make your debut. Clarkie, you said Saints would be next to score. You're right for once.
I didn't. I said Wigan, and you're just taking the mickey again like you usually do in my conversation. So Saints have lost possession here now.
Mike Bennett was hit with a real pearler. Sorry, Clarkie.
Well, all I was going to say really is that I thought Wigan would just tighten up here now. I'm sure they've got to carry on playing, that you can't just retreat back into your shell. That'll just give an even extra incentive to St Helens to come back in it. When St Helens do get possession, I'm sure Wigan will really try and tighten up around the ruck and close in, because it's down the middle that Saints will try and go at them.
Last 5 minutes, big 5 minutes too. Craig Smith to drive it in towards those sticks. They're getting closer and closer. 3 tackles remaining. Another good drive from O'Connor. They're within distance now. Will they go early? They've got the penalty!
They don't have to.
Jason Hooper all over the top of O'Connor. That could be curtains. In fact, it probably will be.
Well, it'll take all the time in the world to do this one, and not surprisingly, Andy Farrell just ambled up. Terry O'Connor said, "Excuse me, sir," he had another push at me.
Was O'Connor tackled and finished off?
No.
There was someone round his legs, there were.
Yeah.
Andrew Terry's got all the experience in the world.
Oh, he milked it, of course he did.
He got the penalty. Jason Hooper has been done.
Well, Terry O'Connor may not win the man of the match watch, Eddie, but he'll pick up the Oscar for this. And they know it. Saints fans not too impressed.
Keith Mason had hold of his legs.
Oh, it just flopped down, did Terry. Looked straight away at the official. Not often you see Mr. Smith conned. Russell Smith, that is.
Andrew Farrell then. He's tried with a couple of drop goal attempts that have failed. This, though, to probably, although you never say that when Saints, to probably win the match. He's kicked in. 38-30. Wigan now know that it is almost impossible for St Helens to come back.
Never say never with this St Helens side, as we all know, but they've got to go for the short kick-off here.
We've got to be behind, Paul.
They must go for the short kick-off. They have to get possession.
Andy Farrell kicked magnificently tonight, by the way. That's 7 out of 7.
We must be behind.
Well, who'd have thought this at 20-0? There's the short kick-off. Now, it came up for them in the first minute. It hasn't now. Briscoe.
Been solid, hasn't he, Briscoe? Had a little bit of a meal of it, which allowed Darren Smith to score that vital try. He'll be relieved.
Great offload by Craig Smith to Mark Smith. This is Robinson. Clattered by Scott Moore.
Go on, Jason.
Lamb. O'Connor again. Offload again from the big forward. Here goes Briscoe.
Could have done without that.
3, get off it.
Just calm it down.
Let him up, get square.
Kick, chase, just force St Helens backwards.
O'Connor.
Got through a lot of work, hasn't he, O'Connor? Last 5 or 6 minutes, he's been hunting for the ball.
Mark Smith, Adrian Lamb. Good chip over the top. Stewart on the bounce. Last hurrah for Saints. Not even they can score 8 points in a minute and 3/4. Wellens. Well, it's a shame for the neutrals' point of view that Farrell kicked the goal and Hooper conceded the penalty. But what a win this is for Wigan.
It's unbelievable, especially the way that they were ripped apart in the opening 25 minutes. But you saw the alarm bells just before the half-time break, when it was Wigan with their youngsters making breaks, Hop make 2 or 3. Then they were getting the ball out wide and making it.
This is Hyan. He offloads, and here goes Keith Mason.
Good support play. They've got a chance, got to be a kick. Chip over the top from long, perhaps.
There it is, chip through, gathered up, gives it to Wellens. Here is Smith. They're in. Second try for Darren Smith. There surely won't be enough time. There surely won't be enough time. Or will there?
Well, Scott's on trying to Chip over the top there, did well, got a beautiful bounce, good support play. Darren Smith, second try within minutes. Never say never, Eduardo.
Well, everybody will be looking to see how much time is left after this conversion from Sculthorpe. First up, he's got to kick it. 34-38, a point-a-thon at Knowsley Road. Sculthorpe with a conversion.
Oh, it's missed it.
That's it. No chance now. There's the siren. There's the siren. Ian Millwood leaves the scene. He must have thought they were home and hosed. So much long. Stuart Raper's had an awful week. He's been ill for much of it. But his men tonight have done him proud, and that's better than any doctor's potion. Luke Robinson, 3 tries tonight for him. I bet he becomes the man of the match and goes home with the watch. 38-34. Wigan get the double over Saints. Stuart Raper has done it again over Ian Millwood. He's got the Indian sign on him.
Ah, thank you. My word, you're a tripod. So you're the...
Oh, it's third time Newgate for Austin Powers in Gold member, now showing on Sky Box Office.
Molly, 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 Molly.
Had enough of cross-network charges? With inclusive minutes on Vodafone's Anytime plans, you can call anyone on any UK network at no extra cost. So you can find your perfect fit.
118888. Directory inquiries? Hold the phone, sister. 118888 will save you. Half the price of BT 192. We'll save you.
When I look at Steve and Jenny, I just think, wow. What did Jenny have that all the others didn't? Because Steve's had a lot of women. Women all over the world. You know, Europe, Asia, Africa, you name it, Steve's been there. One word, buddy, Amsterdam. Huh? This guy knows what I'm talking about. Well, what can I say? The guy's been around. You know, the block. A couple 100 times.
Sorry, mate. Got it!
Don't ever let slip how little you pay for your teletext holiday. On the web and on TV.